Miss Toothpaste, Cincinnati. Oh boy, Edward. Wow, tell me more about that. So I was with my cousin last week for Thanksgiving, since last year they live a 3-hour drive away. Got late and he took me down a dark trail and scared the piss out of me talking about ghosts and murderers. In a quiet moment, I thought I might change the subject, so I started talking about 3D whisk, apropos of nothing. Turns out he knew about it, which caught me off guard. And he carried on with the exact same tone as when he was talking about torture killers a moment earlier, but now talking about 3D whisk. I had to tell me about conspiracy or something. He went on about the girl in the pink shirt and gave me this long list of ominous things to pay attention to in the screensaver. Oh, he's one of the Amber shitheads. Those people basically took down that old Discovery Pages website a couple years ago. Ruined a good thing. Huh. Yeah? Anyway, when we got back, we watched 3D Whisk together until 2 a.m. on the slowest, crappiest computer in the world. We watched until suddenly the computer froze completely. But he told me it wasn't really frozen, that actually 3D Whisk does it on purpose in order to hide things that are happening. I don't know. He was making things up on the spot, but I think they still meant something to him. Huh. I guess we're, jumping through time, then, obviously, these boards, And unless the site was taken down completely, we're seeing these boards, as they're going up. We're seeing these boards as they're still up, as they're still active. But maybe everything, the fucking chat log we saw is definitely a bit into the future. But maybe the 3D screensaver shit is too, I don't know. I don't even know if the chronology matters with this 3D screensaver stuff. I don't know. Anyway, okay, so, I don't know if someone asked this at all, but I keep hearing certain implications about the screensaver that I don't want to repeat here, but you probably know what I'm talking about. I think maybe it's supposed to be a joke, but if so, I don't find it funny at all. Can somebody give me more info about this? Turn back now, don't go any further! Stop! For your own peace of mind, stop the sign of inquiry now and do something else. Don't become another one of us freaks. Seriously, I wish I could go back to enjoying this screensaver normally. I want to be a normal person again. Please, God, let me forget. There are links that can be provided. If you really want them, I can send them to your email. Just let me know. I'm no coward. Here's a link. And then node. Link removed. Go ahead, enjoy. Yeah, that's not going to last very long. Oh, okay, wait. Huh. Okay. Lots of confusing stuff here. Definitely interesting, but lamp. Oh my god. Lamp, just like Peskov tapers. Oh my god. Holy fuck. I can't believe this person is actually Kaird's mother. Confirmation, everything. Everything's connected. The windows of my living room, covering the walls with wide views of my front and backyards, fill the room with light during the day and an air of vulnerability during the night. My brother crashes here. He sleeps on the couch against the back windows. Sometimes we sit together, looking out those windows, and tell stories about the house beyond my backyard. A man lives in the house with his 2 sons. The curtains are closed, and we imagine our own childhood replaying itself behind them. Just notice the link is blacked out. Oh boy. This is a stupid game, really, making up stories about the neighbor. I think of it as a way to bond over past experiences. Somehow we get emotional about it anyway, but not emotional enough to do anything, because of course it's a stupid game. There's no point in worrying about those children based on feelings and intuition alone. Still, we both find that our dreams become more vivid with time. Lately, we've grown exhausted of that game, but recently I downloaded 3D Workers Island. It plays on a PC in the corner of my living room. You should check out this program. It's a screensaver, which means it only starts when you aren't using your computer, but when it starts, you're on an island. There are people around, but they don't do much, not when they're outside anyway. Naturally, you wonder what they might be doing out inside the windowless red house in the background. That's when things start to go wrong, when you start wondering that. And now we begin another game, as in life, concern begets more concern. The reality is always worse than you think it is. No matter how much you learn, it's always worse. And the only escape is to stop asking, to stop digging, to stop learning. This is your chance to stop. The preferred resource for all things 3D Workers Island is called 3D Wisp Discovery Pages. Created and maintained by Pat Lawler, it just covers everything a reasonable person would want to know. You should browse her website first if you haven't already, because it's quite good, but Pat Lawler doesn't see what we see, or chooses not to. I've created a different kind of resource. Here, I take your sightings and I display them for the benefit of others. Together, we play this game the way it's meant to be played. Welcome to my website, Inside 3D Whisk. Beyond here are themes of violent abuse and torture. Continue if you can handle that. Oh boy. I can see why this is a chapter break. I removed your link because it breaks the following rule. Rule 5, do not post links to the website, you know the one, is nothing more than a collection of perverted creative writing prompts. I would not usually be so strict about something like this, but clearly there are too many here who cannot say reasonable and sane while discussing the context of this particular website, so I must make the hard decision of banning it. You can guess what I think about this topic, but let me try to explain the phenomenon occurring here. The fact is, many internet users are children and young adults, and children like to play games. What this means is you will occasionally find yourself unknowingly pulled into the games played by children. On the website, you will primarily find stories told by kids to scare other kids. You also find so-called analysis of these stories that treats them as true facts, to give them legitimacy. But there is no evidence to be found there. I hope I have cleared things up for you, buddy. Shut up, Pat. Anyway, more links. Oh, God. I doubt any of these links actually go anywhere. Oh boy. Thank you, P. Lawler. Well said. These violent stories are cheesy, over the top, blood and guts. Believe me, I've been watching this program for so long, I would have seen such things by now. About John Sorowayson. Welcome to my world. The screensaver won't open up to you. Maybe you need to look within yourself to find the problem. You'd love to think it's all just bloody, screaming children. Long before I began seeing the violent shit, I saw the way Amber was treated by the other islanders. I saw her tiredness, I saw her several messages, but you just wanted the bleeding children and laugh. Alright then. Why is it always Amber who gets abused and killed in these made-up scenarios? Don't get why this community has an obsession with torturing her specifically. Y'all freaks and sociopaths is my best guess. I should create my own section for dealing with 3D Whisk hoaxes. Snopes.com has a good system for these. Alright. We'll give every one of these stories of the Red Spear falseness. False, false, false! You being like this is so fucking suspicious. Good question. People have a strange amount of concerns for Amber, and it is a mystery to me. Jesus fucking Christ, that website. The screenshots and pictures on there are insane. Some of them are obviously straight out of Photoshop. Others, I don't know. They're all low-quality JPEGs for what it's worth. It makes it easy to hide flaws. She's stuck. Is she stuck? Or is she trying to... Like... It could easily be the kind of bullshit Petscop pulled with its demos. Where, like, to us, it looks like she's not going anywhere, but to her, she is. You know? Like, the thing is, this is made by the creator of Petscop. We gotta keep this shit in mind. 'Cause, like, a lot could happen with it. Inside 3D Workers. Yeah. Welcome to Inside 3D Whisk. Here, you'll find the content missing from Pete Lawyer's 3D Whisk discovery pages. Her website should be your source of general information about the screensaver, but come back here when you're done. Pick a category on the left and browse your collection of user-submitted sightings. Download 3D Whisk and let us know what you find by submitting a sighting. Thanks for visiting and telling us your stories. And messages, photographs, screams, whispers, glitches, oddities, real life. Just for fun. Boy. I'm receiving so many emails about this Sam Ferraro business. Though there's not much contention in whether the screenshot of Amber's rare black shirt is real, there's a lot of disagreement about whether the picture on her shirt is really of Sam Ferraro, since it doesn't exactly match any of the known publicly released photos of him. I've expanded the section to include some of your comments. On the subject of photos, I've removed a user-submitted photo from pjr.pin at the request of its original owner. Planning on overhauling the categories soon. More details to come. Add a link to Grace's Guilt. Great quote. Lucky for that girl, her story became an urban legend. Most people don't believe it really happened, even if they're fascinated anyways. A perfect disappearing act, the real world transforming into fiction. Now she lives her disgraceful retirement in the remote world of a cartoon, but reality will haunt her conscious forever. And some more user submissions to worker degeneration. I am curious about that. I get why it's this, because it lets us see the story in the order it's intended to be seen. Like, it's hiding things that, we're not supposed to see until we're supposed to see. But God, I want to see. Oh well. And an avalanche of screenshots of strange faces. I can't believe people are walking to the bathroom at night and seeing these things. Making this website has convinced me never to run 3D Whisk after bedtime. Thank you, Pete Lawler. No sounds, no faces, wrong on both counts. Falling behind an email. Sorry, everybody, but pray for my brother because he's been having a hard time lately. He's in the hospital now. Sometimes you've been broken in ways that don't hit you until decades later. I expect my turn to come soon. When that day comes, my brother will be alive to support me. But for now, let's go. Hi, Rebecca, and you. Okay. Oh, here's the sex. But also it's not necessarily. Yeah, I don't think it's meant to be sex. They're just kind of broken. And it just happens to look like sex, but it actually isn't. Okay. PGR pin. The PGR pin is one of 3D Whisk's first popular sightings. The letters PJR stand for Pat, Joan, Rebecca, 3 characters on the island. When these three adults approach Amber and the following information facing her is called a PJR pin. Credit to P. Lawler for the icons. Amber is in the center of the formation. The PJR pin isn't complete unless all 3 adults are close enough to prevent Amber from moving. In other words, to pin her in place. This is this is a very strict and specific requirement that is not met often. Formations in this particular shape are uncommon between any four characters. When they do form, they're spontaneous and brief, usually reorganize themselves into the more stable circles, or rather diamonds, like this. Why is the PJR's pin significant? According to the stories, it triggers the following sequence of events. All four characters disappear instantaneously. The world is replaced with darkness. In that darkness appears a photograph of a child in clothes that resemble Amber's pink stripes. She is sometimes injured, sometimes not. An audio clip of a young woman's scream or multiple screams play from the speakers. It's usually interpreted as Amber's voice, but sometimes it's the voice of an off-camera witness. The world reappears. Pat, Joe, Rebecca, and Amber reappear at the front door of the house one by one. Amber is the last to appear. No evidence of the event remains. Most accounts miss the first 3 steps in the sequence. It's only when they hear screams that they start paying attention to what's happening on screen. 3D Wisp doesn't officially play audio, but many stories report sounds. They usually describe very loud or very quiet sounds, like screams or whiskers, with little in between. We have a page just for whisper-related hangings, most involving Amber's pleas for help. Much pride is taken in the skill of recognizing these whispers as quickly as possible, since they often precede other events for which screenshots are desirable. No whispers precede the PJR pin, unfortunately. Photographs are also a common theme in these sightings. 3D Wisp appears to have a heavy preoccupation with the real world, in particular with real human bodies, from living and healthy to mangled or emaciated or dead. In this case, even when Amber doesn't display any physical injuries, her transformation into a human body is often interpreted as an act of violence itself, or act of violence itself. In general, any movement between fiction and reality in either direction is treated with an undertone of terror. Descriptions of the photos vary. It may be that people are seeing the same photo and remembering it differently. It's not hard to believe that disturbing a sudden scream is shocking people into seeing or remembering injuries that aren't there, but it's also possible that 3D Wisp is displaying different photos of the same girl at varying levels of injury, perhaps dependent on the context of the simulation, as Amber's plight has been shown to progress in severity over time. Who is the girl in the picture? Until we have a legitimate screenshot, we have little to go on, and this one has proven challenging to capture. GK. Jake the Meadow had quite a fright. He writes, I'm never running it overnight ever again. Holy shit, it woke me the fuck up. I've never been so scared in my entire life. I was asleep and then an ear-splitting scream. What the fuck? P. Lalo lied to me. Your website said there's no sound in the screensaver. Or guess what? There's sound, motherfucker. Ashley B. heard it too and got a look at something interesting. Ashley writes, because it was the last thing I'd ever expected to happen in 3D Wisp, I have to admit I was jolted and shaking for a good hour afterwards. I knew the discovery pages were wrong about other things, but somehow this one thing I trusted, and well, my volume was turned quite high, so it was really something else. I only got the shortest glimpse of the screen before it reverted back to the status quo. It was dark, but I saw the dim shape of a human. Alright, sorry about that. That was my roommate. So I only got the shortest glimpse of the screen before it reverted back to the status quo. It was dark, but I saw the dim shape of a human, realistically proportioned, dressed in pink and white, like Amber. Photograph, I think. It wasn't moving. Harold had an uglier description. It was bad. Oh my god, lol, I can only laugh now, but I'm done with the screensaver now for real this time. I think one scream repeated 3 or 4 times, or maybe it was more than one scream, and the image was a tasteless display of. Doesn't tell us. Laptop on them there. Yo, man, I have internet. Maybe this place ain't so bad. Getting worse and worse. The more I watch, the more I notice, the more I understand, the more bold it becomes with the things it shows me. Every time I come to some new revelation, the screensaver shows me more, but most other people don't see these things, and if I have someone in the room with me, they don't happen. Are you telling me P. Lawler, with the 10 billion hours he's been watching 3D Whisk, hasn't seen any of these things? Getting dangerous in here, lol. Pat Lawler is a criminal. I have family who used to live down the street from her. Nobody in their right mind would trust Pat Lawler. Pat Lawler shouldn't be allowed to run a 3D Workers Island fan website. She should be in prison. Anyone who wants details, read the message me. I'm Good Kid 85 on AIM. Thank you, but I'm afraid you don't know anything. Damn it, Good Kid! Ha ha ha! And he's banned. That's fast. P. Lawler is always online. She reads every post the second you submit it. You cannot evade her. Oh boy. Using the computer behind someone's back. Huh. Ooh, the worker degeneration. I was interested in this. I decided to stop posting new submissions to this page. This is one of the most well-documented sightings, and at this point I'm receiving mostly redundant info. Thanks for everything you sent in. Worker degeneration is something akin to injury or damage. This damage is associated with an active entity, which 3D Whisk calls a worker, because hence the name of this page. It's not clear to me how this term came about. It wasn't invented by 3D Whisk's authors yet. And it implies a bit of knowledge about the screensaver's internal, how the injury is associated in some fundamental way with the underlying worker concept. This is especially strange since the only documented cases of worker degeneration are tied to one character, that being Amber. Therefore, it seems premature to generalize this term to such an extent, but I'll use the established name. If you've ever seen a red Amber, you've seen worker degeneration. This is an early stage. After this comes compression, and the result looks like this. This red ball is seemingly inert. It doesn't move or interact with anything, but yes, the red ball is Amber. This state has been interpreted as representing dehydration, malnutrition, and or mutilation, and the many photographic sightings seem to confirm all these interpretations equally. But most of all, it's become associated with small, muffled screaming, and therefore with pain. It doesn't take long for this red ball to start shrinking and quieting down until sooner or later it can't be seen or heard anymore. Amber will usually respawn from the house at some time after compression, even while the red ball is still visible. The program will eventually continue as usual. Following in the aspects of the story, letting the screensaver go longer periods has unlocked something, and now I'm seeing all sorts of funny shit like a red Amber. She goes in the house, comes out redder, goes behind the house, comes back redder, comes back redder again, comes back weird and slow, crawls around until pop, she hits a ball on the ground that everyone ignores, and that's that. I went away for 8 hours, and when I got back, there's a bunch of red spears scattered around making noise, although it sounded just like a chorus of dissonant humming. Now I'm wondering just how long my dog had to listen to that shit. Oh boy. How many of them are sitting at the bottom of the ocean? I just can't help but feel hopeless about everything. Nobody will ever help me. I'll never help myself. I'm too afraid even to reach out. I'm not even writing this right now. This message exists only in my head. This whole website exists only in my head. 3D Workers Island? What is this? Would I really put this online? Would I really give anyone the slightest glimpse into my world? This is fake. This is all fake, and nobody will ever see it. To Thomas, I hear you. and I understand. The suffering in silence is hard work. Okay. That's all I can say. Whoa, dance party! Whoa, dance party! Recession of the Islands. This might be a new chapter. I'm gonna say this is a new chapter. If it's lengthy enough, I'll cut it here, because, already almost an hour long. I was expecting to be done, around 20 minutes ago. Oops. Here we go. Recession of the Islands. Oh! That's what the fucking red balls earlier were. Oh! Okay. And there they are. That's what it's about. Okay. How far are we zooming out? 3D Workers Island, a thing by Tony Dominic. That was the end of it. Okay. Never mind then. I guess it's just 2 parts. And that's it. Cool. Fuck off, bitch. Fuck off, Tony. Well, I didn't even think about that. Well, damn. Oh, you! I know you. I should message you sometime. You! We're at it on my old Discord account. Then I got a new Discord account, never added you. We were never mutuals on Twitter, so, didn't feel like I could reach out, but, I'm done. I don't need to sit here anymore. Thanks for watching. Oh my god.